Okay. So we're going over to 8.6, which also encompasses 8.7 and 8.8. And it's all about basically paying off debts, essentially. Loans, credit cards, all that stuff. So when you are, so on your formula sheet, the last formula on here says amortization. Amortization means paying off a loan or debt of some kind. Okay, so that is the one that you're going to use when you're doing anything with a loan. And you'll notice that it has, basically it's given in the form of payment equals, and then in the formula you have P, which stands for principal. Okay, because loans have, always have a principal because that's the original amount that you're borrowing. Okay, so you should not confuse that with the annuity formula because for one thing, that says annuity, but also that formula has an A in it, which means that's an amount you're accumulating up to. Whereas a loan has a P for principal, which is an original amount that you started with that you borrowed. All right, so that's our formula. All of the variables have all of the same meaning that they do in all the other sections. All right, so we're going to start with a mortgage example. And in this case, it does say round to the nearest dollar. So we'll go ahead and do that. So the price of a home is $185,000. The bank requires a 15% down payment and 4 points paid at the time of closing. The cost of the home is financed with a 20-year fixed-rate mortgage at 6%. So first of all, find the down payment. Okay, so that's just a basic, percent problem. The down payment is 15% of the price of the home. So we just need to multiply the price of the home times 15%. So 185,000 times 0.15. All right, so the down payment is $27,750. All right, so the amount of the mortgage, so that means basically what is the principal that you are borrowing on your mortgage, which is going to be the price of the home minus the down payment. So 185,000 minus 27,750. Okay, so that is P. That is the principal of your mortgage loan. All right, and when it's, so points, 4 points means 4% of the principal, and that's like a closing cost type of thing that you just, a fee that you have to pay. So you would just take the principal times 4%, so 0.04. So that's 6,290. So that really doesn't have anything to do with the mortgage because that's just a fee that you're going to pay at closing.
How about the points were what the price of the home was? I say like go buy a house, like they have a listing price of like 185,000. You offer them like 175, and they take it, and you pay the points. Don't you pay that on the 175?
I think it's on the amount of the mortgage. I could be wrong. I can double check what it says on the homework, but I think it's the amount of the mortgage, but I'll double check that later. But it doesn't have anything to do with the rest of the problem anyway. No, that's totally fine. You could be right. I will double check it. But it doesn't really have anything else to do with the rest of the problem, so we'll check that later. Okay, so find the monthly payment. So this is where you actually use the formula. All right, so payment equals the principal, which is $157,750, and then times R over N. So the rate was 6%, 0.06, and it's a monthly payment, so N is 12. And then divided by not double parentheses yet. Parentheses 1 minus parentheses 1 plus R over N. So 0.06 over 12. To the power of negative 12 times, it's a 20-year mortgage, so 20. Okay, so let's put that in. All right, so that is $1,130, and it said round to the nearest dollar, so we're going to round it there. $1,130 is your payment. So that's not too bad for a 20-year mortgage, because that's an accelerated mortgage. Most people usually get 30, in which case, let's see, that'd make your payment $946. So anyway.
Oh yeah. It's 7. I got 1126, but because the mortgage.
Oh, I see what I did. It was $250 instead of $750. Yeah. Okay, so that'd be 1127. Okay. So find the total cost of interest over 20 years. Okay, so the amount so basically you just take the amount you pay minus the principal, which is 1127 times 12 times 20 minus the principal, which was $157,250.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Never mind, I already know the answer to my question. Just leave on. Sorry.
That's okay. You sure?
Yes, I'm sure.
Okay. So that is $113,230. So that is a lot of interest, but I mean, the good thing is at the end of those 20 years, you own the home, you don't have to pay any more payments. Or you can probably sell it for a lot more than what you bought it for and then make a bunch of money and buy a better house or whatever. Okay, number 2, you charge $3,500 on your credit card and you plan to pay it off over 2 years. The annual interest rate is 21%.
Yeah, so we can go back up to the one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
Okay, I know how to put stuff in here, but I don't understand, like, I got $11,265.88. So, I don't understand what I'm doing.
You got $11.65?
11,200.
Oh, $11,000 for the payment?
Yeah, and I know that's not right, and that's what I don't understand what I'm doing wrong. Because I know how to put it in the calculator, but it's not.
Did you look back through it and see if you could find it?
I just want to see what you're.
Yeah, 1127.
You can go ahead and go, I'll figure it out.
Yeah, obviously it's not 11,000, right, for the payment. All right, so if you charge $3,500 and you want to pay it off over 2 years with the annual interest rate of 21%, if you don't make any more charges, how much do you have to pay every month? So we're just going to use that formula. So you've got P is 3,500. T will be 2. R is 0.21. And it's monthly, so N is 12. So payment equals 3,500 times 0.21 over 12. Over parentheses 1 minus parentheses 1 plus 0.21 over 12. And then to the power of negative 12 times 2. Okay, so 179.85. So how much interest? So that would be 3,500 just minus. So we 179.85 times 12 times 2. That did wait. Oh, I guess I did it backwards. I should have done the other way. I should have done the other way around, but so it should be how much I paid minus the principal. So 179.85 times 12 times 2 minus 3,500 is what I should have done. So that's $816.40 $816.40 of interest. Okay. All right. The credit card with the statement shown uses the average daily balance method to calculate interest. The monthly interest rate, that's an important word to note, is 2.4% of the average daily balance. Okay, so here is basically a statement, shows your previous balance and then your charges and stuff. So then what they're going to ask, so let's see, they're asking is, find the average daily balance for the billing period and round to the nearest cent. Okay. So we're going to do that by filling in this little table down here. Zoom out a little bit. Okay. So we start off with $43.50 is the balance. Okay, so that happens, so that you're starting out with that on April 1st. And then on the 3rd, you make a payment. So that balance right there lasts for 2 days. So you multiply the balance by the number of days. So $43.50 times 2 is $8,700. Because it starts on the 1st and the payment is made on the 3rd. So 3 minus 1 is 2. So basically it means you have that particular balance for 2 days. So then after that you pay, so that was from, this started on April 1st. All right, and then on April 3rd, you make a payment for $400. So subtract $400 from that balance. Oh, like this?
Yeah, sorry.
Okay. So $43.50 minus the payment of $400 gives you $39.50. And then, so the next change occurs on the 8th. So 8 minus 3 is 5. So then you multiply $39.50 times 5, which gives you $19,750. So then on the 8th, you charge $45 for gas. So you take that $39.50 and you add the $45. So that's $39.95. And that lasts until the 14th. So 14 minus 8 equals 6. And then you multiply $39.95 times 6, which gives you $23,970. And then the next charge comes on the 14th for $10. So you take the $39.95 plus $10 equals $4,005. and that goes until the 21st. So 21 minus 14 gives you 7, and you multiply 4,005 times 7, which gives you 28,035. And then on the 21st, you have another charge for $80. So you take 4,005 plus 80, which equals 4,085. And that one lasts until the 30th. And since it is, since that's the last one, you actually, instead of just doing 30 minus 21, you have to add 1 to that because it's also on the 30th. So it's like 30 minus 21 plus 1. So that's 10. 10. And then you multiply 4085 times 10, which gives you 40,850. Any questions about that part? So then to find the average daily balance, you're basically going to add up that last line and then divide by 30, since there's 30 days in the month. So you're going to add all these up. And then you're going to divide it by 30. So that gives me $4,043.50 is the average daily balance. So then, Part B says find the amount of interest to be paid on May 1st, the next billing date, and round to the nearest cent. So it told us earlier that it was, the monthly interest rate was 2.4%. So we're just going to find 2.4% of that average daily balance. So we'll just do 4,043.50 times 0.024. Which equals 9704. So that's the amount of interest that would be charged that month. So the balance, you just add that to the balance. So 4,043.50 plus 9704.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
If that's the average daily balance, but that wasn't the balance you ended with. Okay, I guess my question would be like, the balance is due on May 1st, would it be the interest plus the balance that was at the end of April?
Yes, that is a good point. You're right. No, don't be sorry. You're good.
I'm not trying to be like,
No,
you know it all.
it's totally fine. It's good. It's all good. I have pregnancy brain, so.
It doesn't go away after.
Okay, so yeah, 4085.
Where did you get, just so I'm for sure, where did you get that point?
Up here at the beginning of the problem, they told you that that is the monthly interest rate. Yeah. Okay. So, all right, so yeah, so your balance you ended with was 4085. So add the interest, which is 9704, gives you $4,182.04. And where did I get what? The 4085, because that was the actual ending balance that you ended up with at the end of the month. Yeah. So it says this credit card requires a minimum monthly payment of $15 if the balance is less than $400. Otherwise, the minimum monthly payment is 1/36th of the balance due at the end of the billing period. So what is the minimum payment due on May 4th? So you just take that balance from the previous part and basically just divide it by 36 because it's 1/36th. So then you have 116.17. You should always pay your credit cards off at the end of the month. Definitely. Number 4 says if you get a car loan for $8,500 at 7% interest, find the monthly payment. So when I wrote this problem down, I did not provide all the necessary information. What am I missing? Yeah, how long the loan is for. So I think usually, when I did it before, I just did like 3 years. So we'll do that. Let's say 3 year. Okay. So then we have T is 3. P is 8,500. R is 0.07. And then N is 12 because it's monthly. So payment equals 8,500 times 0.07 over 12. One minus, one plus, 0.07 over 12. To the power of negative 12 times 3. All right.
3 years, you said?
Mm-hmm, yeah, let's do 3 years. I think if you look on the completed notes, I think that's what I did before, but either way, it doesn't matter. So I got 262.46. So the interest that you pay equals the total that you paid minus the principal. So 262.46 times 12 times 3 minus 8,500. So that would be $948.56. Okay, fill out the loan amortization schedule for the first 3 months of the loan. Okay, so all right, so for the first month, you want to figure out the amount of the interest. So you take the loan balance, which starts out at $8,500, and you're going to multiply that times R over N, basically, the rate divided by 12. Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, can you go back up to the answer for number 4? Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm, sure. So 8,500 times 0.07 over 12, and that's going to tell you the amount of interest that you're paying on out of your first payment. So that's $49.58. So then the principal that you're paying out of your first payment equals the amount of the payment minus the interest so that would be the 262 point whatever, what was that? 262.46. All right, so that's the total amount of your payment. And out of that, $49.58 of it is going to pay off the first month's interest, and the rest will be applied to the principal. So that's $212.88. So out of your first month's payment, $49.58 is going to interest, and $212.88 is going to the principal. Okay, so after making that payment, your new balance of the loan equals the previous balance, which is $8,500, minus the amount that you were able to apply onto the principal, which is the $212.88. Which is $8,287.12. And then, so that's for payment number 1. So for payment number 2, you take the previous balance, which is $82.87.12, and again, you multiply it by R over N. And that gives you the amount of interest that you're paying the second month. So in the second month, you're paying $48.34 in interest, which is a tiny bit less than you paid in interest the previous month. And that is because your balance went down because you were able to make a payment towards the principal. So this month, how much of your payment will go towards the principal? So you take the payment amount is still the same, and then you subtract the amount you're able to put on the interest, or you had to put on the interest, which is $48.35. So this month you're able to put $214.11 towards the principal, just a little bit more than last month. So now your new loan balance, after that payment is applied, take your previous balance, which was $82.87.12, and subtract $214.11. So that's $8,073.01. And we'll just do that one more time. So month number 3 for your third payment, the amount of interest that you have to pay equals your previous loan balance, which is $8,073.01. multiplied by R over N. So 0.07 over 12. All right, so went down a tiny bit more, and that's $47.09. So the amount from your payment that goes to principal, again, your payment amount is still the same, and then you just subtract that interest amount. So that's $215.37. And then your new balance after that payment is applied. Take the previous balance, $8,073.01 minus $215.37. Now you have $7,857.64. All right, so it's just very tedious, but you can also do, usually what people do is use like an Excel spreadsheet to make that amortization schedule, and it does, but that is what the calculations are. So that shows you every single month how much of your payment is actually going towards interest versus principal. And you can see, you know, the interest goes down a little bit each month, the principal goes up a little bit each month. So, see y'all tomorrow for quiz and review and all that, so. Yeah, the paper ones, you keep those, yeah. Mm-hmm. It gets replaced by the quiz average. Lowest test grade is replaced by the quiz average. Test, yes. If you can also, yeah, it never hurts to send me an email and like remind me, but I'll probably be fine. But if you want to email me, it never hurts. And also, I always forget to go and pick up your test out of my mailbox, and then I always forget to like put it with my other tests and grade it. But so anytime you want to email me and just remind me about that stuff, you know, that'll be great.
Where does it go? Is on.
Just by the quiz, basically, yeah.
Didn't see it on.
Well, it's on Canvas.
Yeah.
Did you say Mr. Moran's office is?
That's right. It's in that same little bay where mine is. So you know where all the offices are over there, like, yeah, right on the other side of the picnic tables from the support center.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the vet's offices?
Yeah, so hers is in the little breezeway area. Ours is like next to that inside the little, and there's like 6 offices in one little like thingy. If you're facing the building, it's on the right side.
Okay, so right for like social stuff, like.
Yeah, like if you're going out towards the parking lot.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
Okay.
He's usually over there.
Yeah, I see if I can catch him. Thank you.
Yeah, and like, yeah, he's usually over there until like 2:30 and stuff.
I'll leave this weekend, just yesterday, it's like different stuff, and, I went to the call just today, actually, this morning. And I sent an email saying, hey, I'm gonna be there like right around 9, and then I didn't get here till like 9:40, and I was like, hey, I'll just come meet you in the office, but he never responded.
He's probably because he's just been in class the whole time.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you.
Yep, I was right. It's 1% of the loan amount.